My name is Steve. Welcome back to my shop and Shark Bits, episode number 13. This is probably going to be the last video that I put out before the end of the year. I've got a commitment to getting some more of the precision ground flat stones finished. I want to try and get another lot of them out over the next 2 weeks before Christmas. So that's going to take up most of my shop time. They actually take nearly 2 hours per pair to grind, and there's just no shortcuts in order to get them down to the flatness specifications that I'm demanding of myself. It just takes a lot of extra time. So if you're on the waiting list, just be patient and we'll get them done. I've already told several of you that they'll be after the first of the year. The procedure is to, if you're interested in them, is to send me an email. I'll put my email down in the description and I'll also put it at the bottom of this announcement. And I will put you on the list. I will send you an email laying out the specifics of the price and the shipping and so on. And if you are interested, you just respond to that. And then when the stones are ready to ship, I will send you an email, tell you that I'm ready to ship them, and I will, once you acknowledge that, I'll send a PayPal invoice to you. You pay the PayPal invoice and I'll ship them out. So that's the way I'm handling it. I'd like to thank all my new subscribers. I've had quite a few since the last episode of Shark Bits. I'm closing in on that 1,000 mark. As of this evening, while I'm recording this, we're at 933. So another 67 subscribers, and we start the contest where we'll have 2 lucky winners. The first prize is a pair of precision ground flat stones. They're already ground, they're ready to go, along with some of my channel swag and some stickers and so on. And the second place winner will be getting one of my shop-made brass hammers. This particular one I'm getting ready to pack up. I just need to finish it up. And this one is going to the recipient of our Secret Santa. If you follow the YouTube Machinist group, we have a Secret Santa group going on. And I've received the name of my Secret Santa. And he'll be getting one of my brass hammers. So I've been very busy over the past couple of weeks. I haven't gotten a lot of shop time in. I've done a couple of small jobs to do some model train repair, and those jobs are for customers for the store that I work at, and I just need to get them done, and I don't take the time to record most of them. I'm sorry. As I get the time, or if I get a job that I can do, I will do some video. I've got a couple of videos of some small hardware and so on that I've made up when I'm given the time. But over the last couple of weeks, I've gotten quite a few items in, several eBay finds, and a purchase. Shars was running a Black Friday sale, and so at midnight of Black Friday, I placed my order. I saved quite a bit, and I got a few items for the shop that I've been looking for a while, and saved an extra 20%. So that was a good thing. So I'm going to share a couple of those items with you now. But first, I want to share some viewer mail that I got. Jim Deadman, Saw Logs Plastic Hubs. And I'll take and get a close-up of his sticker. He just sent me a channel sticker for his channel. He says, I just took the plunge and had some stickers made up to promote my YouTube channel. They're like me, nothing fancy, but something to share with others. I hope you enjoy it and post it on your sticker board or wherever you put channel stickers. Jim Deadman on YouTube. So I'll put his channel down in the description. And here is Jim's sticker, and I'll add that to my collection. One of my eBay finds wasn't the greatest price in the world, but I made an offer and they accepted it. I had been looking for some magnetic transfer blocks for my surface grinder, and so I got a pair of them. They're in pretty good shape. They are nice and flat. They measure 1.25 inches thick, 2.5 inches wide by 4 inches long. And I'm going to clean them up. First of all, I'll go over them. I'm going to degrease them. It looks like they've got a little bit of oil or something on them. I'm going to degrease them, clean them up good, go over them with my precision ground flat stones and check them out, and then I'm going to surface grind them so that I can get them as flat and square and parallel as possible. So that was one of my eBay finds. One of my favorite tools from my grandfather's tool collection, I know I've mentioned it before, but my grandfather on my mother's side was a tool and die maker, and I got his toolbox when I was an older teenager, just as he retired, and just before he passed away. He died much too young. And one of my favorite tools, and it's actually got his name etched in it, is a Moore & Wright Precision Square. And I've always been partial to this, and I got an opportunity. I was looking at some squares. I wanted to get one a little bit larger, and I found a couple of listings on eBay, and the Moore & Wright is every bit as good as the Starrett. I know that might be sacrilege for saying that, but it is. And they go for a lot less money. So there's my original square, and I picked this one up. I made a lowball offer on it, and they accepted it. It's 4 inches by almost 7 inches. I'm going to go over and clean that up. It came in the original box. It was nicely packed. And when I was making offers, there was a second square that came up, and I made an offer on that, and lo and behold, both offers were accepted, so I ended up with 2 of them. And this one is kind of in between. There's mine. There's the new one. And this one measures about 3 3/4 by 6. So now I've got 3 Moore & Wright squares. There we go. And this one actually came in the original, it came in a wooden box. So I'm really pleased with that. So I'll go over these, clean them up with my precision ground flat stones, and check them out. One of the things that I've been attempting to do since I got the surface grinder in the shop is step up the precision of my machining. Prior to the surface grinder, like most of the home machine shop, hobby machine shops, I was kind of limited by the precision of a milling machine. I have a round column mill drill, which does pretty well, and my small Atlas lathe. And in order to step up the precision, I got the surface grinder. And so I have purchased a few squares, and I've been looking to, I don't have a good standard for squares, but I picked up a few items, and this was my latest eBay find, and this was virtually, it was almost a giveaway. It's a real nice solid steel right angle block. It's 3 inches wide, it's 4 inches tall on the long leg, it's 2.5 on the short leg, and it's 3/4 inch material. So that's going to be a grinding project once I get my standards all set. And I have purchased a few. This looks like it was a shop-made tool, and so that's another project. One of the items that I got from the Shars sale was a magnetic transfer V-block, and I'm pretty happy with that. It is 4 inches long, about 2.5 wide, just under 2 inches tall, and looks real nice. I already put it on the mag chuck. It works just great. So that was one of my purchases. In an effort to try and streamline the grinding of the precision ground stones, I picked up a new diamond wheel. I've been using a 1/4 inch wheel, and I just picked up a 1/2 inch wheel, and this will save me a little bit of time on the roughing, because I go full width of the stone on the roughing passes. But on the finish passes, my step over is still going to be 20-25 thousandths, and that's not going to change the time at all that it takes to do the finish grind. But I'm hoping that that'll help a little bit. So I have that to mount up on and dress and put it into production. In order to step up my precision, I needed a good standard square. And so I purchased a granite right angle square from Shars. Came in this nice wooden padded box. Came in great condition. This is 10 inches tall. It's 6 inches wide at the base, and it's a full 1 inch thick. and it's supposed to be, and according to the information that came with it, within 1/10 of a thousandth in the 10 inches. So that's going to give me a pretty good standard to work for. Certainly a lot better than I've had. And I'll be able to use this. One of my first projects is going to be to build a squareness comparator for my tenths indicator so that I can check out when I'm doing my grinding and so on. So that was one of the items that I picked up. Also one of the items that I picked up in the Shars Black Friday sale. I'm pretty pleased with that. And last but not least, I picked up and proceeded to break the latch off of it the first time I opened it up. A box of gauge pins. And this is the 1/4 inch through 1/2 inch gauge pins. So now I have the first 3 sets. I've got, the first set that I got was 11 thousandths to 60 thousandths. That's my little set. And then I have 60 thousandths to 1/4, and now I have 1/4 to 1/2. And I think that's going to about do it for the time being. Any larger than that, I can probably use other methods for measuring. And plus, I just don't have the room to store them. This fits very nice in my toolbox. Oops, let me put the anti-rust paper back in. So that's what's new at Shark River Machine. Over the last couple of weeks, I finished up the installation of the Y scale, the DRO scale, on my milling machine, and I'm going to take and go handheld and show you that. That's the reed head that I installed underneath the carriage, and it's got a couple of shims. I made up the bracket, and I've got just the 1/1032 screw in it, but that really holds it very secure. On the ends, I made up some brackets. They're at an angle because there's draft on the castings, so I had to angle the brackets on the end, and then I had to lift the entire scale up a little bit. The only thing that I have left to do now is to run a dial indicator across the top of the scale. I can see right now where I'm sitting here that I'm off by a little bit from end to end, and I do want to make sure that that is parallel to the ways, and it is off just a smidge, but I've got slots ground in the brackets so that I can make that adjustment. I've also got to finish tidying up the wires, and I've got material to make up a cover to fill in over top of the ways so the swarf doesn't go in there, and that's also going to protect the the upper scale, which you can just see that scale from this angle. Right now I've just got the scales, they've got magnetic backs on them, and I've just got them stuck to the belt guard on the top. I actually have the blue DRO set up, and I have a good Android tablet, and I went to load the app on it for the blue DRO, and found that because it's a few years old that the app won't load on it. I don't have a late enough operating system on my tablet, so I've either got to upgrade it or look for a newer model tablet. Those of you that follow me on Instagram may have seen a little project that I did, a shop improvement project, and my son came up with some stainless steel trays. These are real nice heavy gauge. They're probably 15, 16 gauge stainless steel. They're beautifully done. The corners are all welded together. And I got them in 2 or 3 different sizes. But this one in particular, this size, was ideal to make a chip pan under my Atlas 618 lathe. So I'm going to take the camera over and show you what I did there. I've also done a little bit of organizing over here on my lathe bench. I had this toolbox. Actually, I had it stored at another location and I had never used it, and I was out here fiddling around trying to build a shelf to mount my tool holders on, and I realized that I had this thing, I might as well use it. So it fit very nicely right behind the lathe, and I'm able to put all my tool holders in the top of it. I've got a couple of chucks. I actually have 3 different chucks, drill chucks, and my steady rest. Just a few odds and ends. I haven't even started filling it up yet. My ER16 collets, I've got twice as many of them. I still have to organize them. I keep just a couple of measuring instruments over here. The rest of all my micrometers and so on are over in my metrology center. But I keep a couple of pieces right here close to the lathe. And then the bottom drawer is some more accessories. A couple of 4-jaw chucks. I actually have 3 4-jaw chucks now. A couple of face plates, milling attachment, lathe dogs, a drawbar for the, and I've got several, I've got number 2, it's a number 2 Morse Tabor spindle, and the drawbar fits my, I have number 2 collets for it, which that fits. And then I also have a collet adapter for the ER16 collets. Then I mounted the stainless steel plate underneath the lathe, and like I said, it fit under there just absolutely perfect. So if I ever decide that I want to put my cool mist on there, I'll be able to do that and contain the fluid a little bit. So I'm real pleased with that project also. Got a couple of new videos in the wings to be putting together. I'm going to be doing another Back to Basics video, and this was a viewer request. I'm going to do one on the use of a wiggler. I know there are plenty of other videos out there on how to use a wiggler, but most of them are in conjunction with other projects, and so you have to look through a project in order to find it. And this is one that will be a standalone in my Back to Basics database, so look for that right after the first, actually right after Christmas. I'll probably do that the week between Christmas and New Year's. That should be a fairly light week, and I'm hoping to actually get a little bit more time in the shop, weather permitting. It's getting a little chilly out here. I do have a nice radiant heater, and where I'm standing right now is pretty warm, but it does get a little chilly out here, so might limit my projects a little bit. And plus I have a lot of precision ground stones to do, so I'll be working on them. And for those of you that have purchased the precision ground stones or are on the waiting list or are considering buying precision ground stones, I'm going to be doing a short video on the use, care, and maintenance of the precision ground stones. I know that Robin Renzetti has done a great one, but since I'm selling them, I think it's only fitting that I have a supporting video in my library. So look for that after the first of the year also. So that's a wrap, and I'll see you in the next video.